Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Raph from B&C Camera, and I'm super duper stoked and geeked to talk to you guys today about the new investment I just purchased in terms of cameras, which is going to be the Panasonic G9 II. Now you might be asking yourself, Raph, you have so many different cameras now. You shoot with Canon, you shoot with Fujifilm, Panasonic, why another camera system? So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit today about the reasons why I had invested into this system specifically. First of all, it's a micro four thirds line camera system. It sports a 25.2 megapixel sensor, and just like the GH6 that I own that I'm using right now for this video, it supports the micro four thirds mount. So there is a lot of plug and play between both of my camera systems, between my GH6 and the G9 II. Of course, one of the biggest reasons why I had bought the system myself was the fact that they introduced the brand new phase-based hybrid autofocusing system from the S5 Mark II and the S5 Mark IIX, which is a game changer for the micro four thirds realm. As you guys are aware, I love shooting with my GH6. The only Achilles heel that I tell people all the time with the camera, of course, is that autofocusing system. The contrast-based autofocusing system is a bit old school, I would say. But with the Panasonic G9 II, they are making the right steps in the right direction within regards to autofocusing and just a better overall experience with the camera. There we go. Of course, I've got the speed down to 5. Ooh, that transition is, whoa, that transition is sick, dude. Whoa, Keanu Reeves. Not only that, but another crazy thing, of course, about this camera system is the fact that it has 8 stops of in-body image stabilization. Now that is also a game changer. Not a lot of people are geeking out as much compared to the phase hybrid based autofocusing that this system has, which again is killer. The 8 stops of in-body stabilization is great for running gun type deals. So the reason why I bought this system, of course, is to pair nicely with my GH6, but to also be able to do running gun type deals and gigs with this camera system. What's going on, guys? It's future Raph here in the editing booth, and I wanted to add this quick little anecdote in this video since I've had more time actually shooting photos now with this camera system. Of course, Panasonic is touting this camera as the wildlife photography camera, and clearly I'm not using it for that purpose. I'm actually using it to shoot this video right now. But so far I've actually used it for photos, and I'm really impressed by the capabilities of this camera system with the autofocus and of course the IBIS. Just to show you guys some photo examples here, I decided to do some street photography, long exposure stuff, and I'm pretty impressed by the long exposure stuff. A lot of the shots that I've taken with the camera system was set to probably around 1/10 and lower, and of course right around that point you probably want to have a tripod just in case, but this was all handheld, and again I'm pretty impressed by it. If you turn on the live preview mode on the camera, you actually see in real time what the photo is going to look like with the movement, which is really useful. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed by it. You know, I bought the camera specifically for videos, but now I'm actually toting it around to shoot photos with it. It's a nice little side piece. I can actually just have this around for quick stuff on the street, which is again what I bought it for. And another great part about the G9 II, of course, is the fact that this camera has almost all the specifications in terms of video codecs and recording options with the GH6 as well. So of course it's going to be limited because this camera has 2 UHS 2 card slots. It doesn't have a CF Express Type B card slot like the GH6. So I'm going to still be utilizing my GH6 more for the stationary, slow-paced stuff where I'm not running around. And of course, the G9 II is going to be more used for out on the field, hitting the streets, quick content, all that fun stuff. Okie dokie, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the camera's exterior first of all and what you're getting, right? You have 2 function buttons right here. Of course, the release for your lens right there. On the left side, you have your audio ports and your HDMI port. And of course, a very big brain move, a very smart move, of course, that Panasonic did. Full HDMI, super duper good and useful to have, which is really great. For your ports, you have your standard mic port and your monitor out port. And you also have your USB-C port as well. The USB-C is going to be utilized to record externally. If you want to record stuff to an external hard drive, you can. And of course, it also acts as a power supply system, so if you want to charge it or continuously power the camera, you can as well. Making our way to the top, you have your drive modes and your different shooting modes, right? You have your on-off switch right here, record button, and what I like about Panasonic and their setup is they have their white balance, ISO, and exposure compensation right here. And of course, you have one dial in the front, one dial in the back, and you have one dial in the back right here too. Now going to the back of the camera, You have your preview button, your LVF, which is basically your preview between your display, monitor, or both. You have your diopter control right here. Autofocusing controls right here, kind of like the GH6. You have a couple different switches. You have your thumbstick right here to kind of focus in on different aspects. You have your quick access menu right here, your menu button, your back button, and display button. Now the LCD screen is, again, similar to the GH6, but unlike the GH6, it doesn't have the pop-out one. And as you can see here, or here like with the S5, there is no built-in fan with this camera. So during my extensive testing, I believe I ran the camera system utilizing a Ninja 5 to record externally. The camera lasted about, I believe, an hour and 45 minutes before I received the temperature gauge warning. So keep that in mind. If you guys are gonna be utilizing this for long shoots, it's not what it's really built for. It's gonna be more for quick run and gun type stuff. And of course, lastly, on the right side of the camera, you have your memory card slots, 2 UHS, 2 SD card slots. Again, no CF Express Type B. And that is the exterior of the camera. But yeah, with all the technical nitty-gritty stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and show you guys some of the footage that I shot out on the field with this camera system. Alrighty, so the first obvious test I wanted to do with the camera system was shoot in low light and as stripped down as possible. Just a camera and my 9mm f1.7 lens. And for those who don't shoot MFT, that 9mm will be an 18mm equivalent in full frame land. Low light shooting, what better place to run that test than one of my favorite geeky bars here in town, Player One. So I'll go ahead and show you guys some footage shot on Vlog, intermixing how footage will look graded and lightly graded.
We're at a bar, Player One in Las Vegas, Nevada. Running around, I don't know, just testing stuff out. Low light test, shooting at 1600 ISO. And it is dark as hell at the bar. There's a lot of lights going on, and spider pump. That's cool. You probably can't hear what I'm saying, but hopefully it picks up. And yeah, so it's oh, there you go. This focusing, yeah. So of course, focusing is gonna be kind of hard in low light situations. You want to get adequate lighting, which is, let's see here. Let's do 3200. Okay, cool. All right, so we're at 3200 ISO. Focusing looks a lot better now. The bar is loud. Lots of games going on. It's Twitch. I think it's the end of TwitchCon, so it's pretty packed. So yeah, it's pretty wild. So I'm gonna show some B-roll footage of the bar, pretty much what it has, this and that. It's a pretty cool bar. So if you want to find stuff to do here in Las Vegas, it's pretty cool. So.
Alrighty, as I'm reviewing this footage in post, definitely take note of the dynamic range and the shadowy areas of the bar. The dynamic range is pretty good. I was able to pull a little bit back in terms of the shadows and just proper lighting in post. So definitely keep that in mind when you're editing in post. You can definitely pull a lot shooting in log. I'm pretty impressed so far by its capabilities. Next up, I just want to show you guys some real-world applications where I utilize the camera for a few gigs. Now, I'm fully aware that this can be a cardinal sin, as there can be numerous variables that can go wrong while utilizing your gear on shoots, especially if it's paid ones. Yet, after my first night with the camera system, I was comfortable and confident enough in my skills and how similarly laid out the interface of the G9 was to my GH6. Of course, I had to spiffy new gal up a bit, so I had utilized what I typically use on my GH6 on the G9 while giving the GH6 a backseat for the evening. During this particular shoot, I wanted to see how well the autofocusing would track subjects moving across the stage, and I gotta say, even with the shifts in lighting and movement, the focusing was locked in. I'm pretty happy to say the G9 Mark II hits all of the benchmarks and expectations I had set against it, and then some. The autofocusing is rock solid, IBIS is amazing when handheld, and it's got all the video formats and colors I'm already familiar with the GH6 to boot. Yep, definitely ready to put in more work with this system in the upcoming days ahead of me. Alrighty, so that's the Panasonic G9 Mark II for you guys. What'd you guys think? I'm really geeked to shoot around with this system. Panasonic actually provided me a unit to play around with before the release of this camera, and when I was shooting with it, I was blown away by the stabilization and of course that phase hybrid based autofocusing system. I think one of the biggest Achilles heels with the Panasonic systems before the phase hybrid, of course, was the autofocusing, and they went ahead and fixed it, and it's a beautiful camera. It's super fast with the focusing. For videos, it's amazing. For photos, it's even better, right? So yeah, you can't go wrong with it. Of course, I invested in this camera system specifically for video. I think this will complement my GH6 fairly well. Now that I have both systems, this is going to be more for my run and gun video work, whereas my GH6 is going to be used for stuff like this, stationary work. Panasonic has a whole line of different lenses for the Micro Four Thirds. Really great pieces of glass, definitely wouldn't count it out. Micro Four Thirds, honestly, if you haven't really had a chance to shoot with it, it's a really great line. I'm not really big on sensor size. Honestly, if you know what you're doing with your equipment, you can get really great results with it. Of course, we have the Panasonic G9 II available for purchase here in our store. You can go ahead and go online on our website at bncamera.com or swing by at the shop to chop it up with one of the associates here to talk about this camera system, what's so great about it, and if it's a right fit for you. And yeah, that concludes the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, of course, as always, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions with the Panasonic G9 II, I shoot with it myself, so feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Of course, I'm none other than Raph, and I will catch you guys in another video.